It would have been a day or two earlier, but the weather was very, very rough. By rough, I mean it was so bad that Eisenhower and Montgomery, plus some of our commanding officers, decided the weather was too rough for D-Day. Now, you have to keep in mind that most ships have a pointed front or bow on them. They can cut their way through the water easily. Landing craft are flat-bottomed, and the worst possible weather for landing craft is rough sea, because they're almost impossible to control. When we hit the beaches on the morning of the 6th of June, the weather was still rough, but most ships managed to close in fairly close to the beach. There were mines there. We did lose some shipping from the minefields. Now, having stepped out of the sea onto the beach, we were confronted again with minefields. But this particular sticker bomb was very close, and I dived for the ditch and was, I think it was pretty shaky. I found some cigarettes, pulled these cigarettes out and couldn't find a match. And I nudged the guy next to me, almost within touching distance, and, "Have you got a match, mate?" And it was my brother. So this was one of the strangest things. I hadn't seen him for 4 years or more. Another thing, I suppose, and this is hard to get used to, and looking back on it, it's, you know, after 70 years or so, you don't stop. If somebody falls, you don't stop to help. Your job is to get ashore and do what you're trained to do. It's one of the tough parts, I think, of an assault, that you drawn into an operation. And keep in mind, you know, looking back, we're all pretty nice guys, really, at heart. But you're trained to do something, and you do it. There's the side to an assault of the kind that D-Day was, that one doesn't really want to dwell on. It is rather a sickening thing to think of, you know.